there was a heated exchange, a vulgar exchange, like Vulgar the Clown. You ever see Vulgar the Clown? Look it up. PCA, who is this all-American dude. We saw him in the WBC representing USA. He's a young star phenom outfielder for the Cubs. Had a heated vulgar exchange with a female fan in a really shocking moment.
Well, hold on. Did you say USA?
I did. USA.
Don't cheer USA around Rory McIlroy. I guess there's another story, and these things all intertwine. Stop it!
Oh, yeah.
Yo, shut the F up! Sorry, Rory.
You see PCA screaming through the gate in the outfield at a woman, and you're thinking to yourself, what's going on there? And basically it came out that he said, you suck my effing
Whoa, hey,
D. Yeah, well, I'm giving you letters here. So, yeah, he said bleep, bleep, my bleep, 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 because that's what she came at him with. And it was like, well, do two wrongs make a right, and do you fight fire with fire? And that's basically what we're going to be getting at here. Like, do you believe that feedback, because of social media nowadays, is a two-way street and these people have to be above it? Or, hey, man, you come at me, I'm coming at you. I've oftenly jokingly said, Rich, you hate me, I'm going to hate you back.
But when you
got a lot to lose, do the same rules apply?
You're the type of guy that loves to fight with a troll on social media. Now, PCA, White Sox, Cubbies, a lot of city rivalries this weekend. My Mets somehow got the better of your Yankees. That was wild.
That was weird.
What a game. Tyrone Taylor, 3-run home run.
I'm sorry, who? Yeah, exactly. Shows you how good Bednar is in the bullpen. But, yeah, lots of great interleague play.
Yeah. A lot of crosstown.
The Cubs were going at it. A lot of crosstown rivalry with the White Sox, obviously.
So the Cubs are up at this point, and a ball's hit to right field. And PCA can't get to it. He goes back, tries to make his best attempt, but hits the wall. From what I understand, that's when the game was tied 4-4. This woman's chirping through that fence. Apparently was there on some type of Bachelorette party time fun. And whatever she said to him, you heard it. What he said back was vulgar. And then after the game, he said, on his interaction with that fan, some lady decided to start talking S, and I felt the need to say it back.
And I think what's also shocking is that he admitted to feeling that need to retaliate, right? So, man, and, I can't not agree with Mike, but Mike also doesn't deal with that sort of constant hassle and criticism. So, yeah, when you got a lot to lose and you're a superstar and you represent a team, of course you want to take the high road. But everybody has a breaking point. Like Ted DiBiase said, Rich, everybody has a price. Well, guess what? Newsflash, Buster. News alert.
Everyone has a breaking point?
Everybody has a breaking point. I've gotten to mine a bunch of times. Because when you're a nice guy, people mistake your kindness for weakness. People think that they could say what they want to you. A lot of these people, fans especially nowadays, are out of control. Let's not just dismiss the out-of-control fandom that goes on, where these grown adults act like idiots who can't control the things they say to other grown people.
But do you think even a composed man like a Dan Byer has a breaking point?
Yes, he does, dude.
You've seen this a lot in the NBA over the last couple of years. A big narrative is people sitting courtside that spend tens of thousands of dollars do feel like they have the right, which do they or do not they? Do they not, Covino, have the right to sort of really chirp loud to some of these NBA players in their face, like a LeBron or a Westbrook? You've seen guys get real sensitive and try to get people thrown out or get right in the face of a fan. Like, where's the line now?
The line is between being personal and just being a good sports fan and booing and taunting the rival player. Like, that's part of sports since day one. You want to rattle the opposition. You want to get in their head. You want to boo them. You want to tell them they suck. When it starts getting personal, dude, that's when you're no longer being a fan. That's when you're no longer taunting somebody. That's when you're just being a straight-up jerk. So I could see after a while, certain people have had enough. And that doesn't make it right, dude. It doesn't. So I'm not defending PCA because, again, it is classless, right? Especially to come at a woman. You're never going to win that argument. It's never going to look good, especially with a woman. Like, you do have to try your best to be better. The McIlroy story that we're going to talk about, like, you're never going to feel great about it. But, like, all I'm saying is I understand. Like Chris Rock says, I'm not saying he should have did it, but I understand. But I understand because you're just a human too. Nobody's perfect. And there's only so much you could take. Was that line crossed? And a lot of times it is, man. I think we as fans, we as people, because of social media, I'm going to blame social media like we often do on everything. I often blame COVID and social media to most of our downfalls in today's society. You know, we think that we could say, or we're entitled to say and speak our minds however we want. But guess what? The blurred line with the keyboard warriors to the person receiving it on X or Instagram or in the feedback on Facebook, it's a lot different than person to person, face to face, mano y mano. It's like, hey, just because you have the cojones and you think you have the right to say this because you're used to saying this online, doesn't mean you could say this to my face. Let's get it right. Let's get it twisted. I think we've really blurred the lines on what's appropriate to say to other people at these games.
I think it's interesting on where people may think that their line is, because I don't think that we really know until all of a sudden it's been crossed.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
like I don't think that Crow-Armstrong was like, okay, she can cuss at me 2 more times and then I'm going to say something. It's whatever snapped and then he went off. And that's what I find interesting about it. And it's why I think everybody has one, because I don't think that people know exactly where their line is and what's going to hit their ear a certain way to make them respond.
Dan? That's the best. And you're right. I don't necessarily know mine unless maybe you're talking about my mama or my daughter.
And I
or
think
something
right there in that case with PCA, he went back
theory,
to
the
what's the chicken theory?
Back to the Future.
Oh. What did you call me?
Exactly.
Chicken. No, I think in that case, PCA went back to the wall. I think there was a sense of he almost got hurt. We're talking like he banged against the wall, and in that moment, she probably said something, and he's like, I'm playing a game. I almost got – I feel like there was an emotional moment where he's like, you're taunting me where I just – because remember, he went against the wall, like took a second to get up. And I think in that moment, it was almost like taunting a hurt player.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what triggered him. I really think something like that.
The Rory McIlroy scenario – that shot that he hit, because it was a poor shot and ended up in the bunker, he knew right then that he wasn't going to win. Now, if he gets up and down from that spot, there's a chance. And the way it unfolded, he wouldn't have won anyway. But in that moment, this was his opportunity. He had to be so precise. And if he doesn't execute this shot, he's not going to win the tournament. And he didn't execute it. So within 2 seconds of realizing I'm not going to win, somebody says something. So his line, while he probably at the Ryder Cup endured way more than what happened, at that point that line was a little bit further down, and it was a lot easier to cross that line in that scenario.
Yeah, we don't know. Not everybody knows their buttons until they're pressed. Like, oh, man. You know, and timing matters too, right, Dan? So, you know, the right thing was said at the wrong time. Boom, you're going to get retaliation. And Wes from Idaho brings up another one. Wes from Vegas hits us up, and he says – you could tell there's a generation or two, because it's gotten progressively worse, right? You could tell there's a generation or two that has never been punched in the snot box. Like, we're living amongst people now that haven't seen a lot of repercussion when it comes to this sort of thing, and they've grown up in a world where they feel they could say whatever they want. That's not reality, dude. That may be social reality, right? That may be social media reality, virtual reality, but, you know, Jamiroquai's not playing in the outfield right now. He's not golfing right now. This is actual reality. And in actual reality, you can't get away with everything just because you think you can. So, yeah, I think that we should hold these people to a higher standard. I'm not disagreeing with Mike who runs this place. But I am saying is everybody has a breaking point. And like Dan said, we sometimes just don't know when or what that button's going to be.
Well, Covino, you say a lot of times we say something like, can you believe they said that? But we never examine, well, why did they say that? You know, like, let's just say when PCA fell, thought he might be hurt, was a little banged up, and in that moment, that woman might have said some hurtful stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you, it's my daughter analogy, really. Like, my daughter often loves to play victim and be like, yeah, like the time you said this or the time you did that. And what she leaves out of the story is, do you remember what you said to me before that happened? Do you remember what you did to cause me to react that way? Or are we just going to forget about that?
Yeah.
There's two sides to every story. Like I said, this is a two-way street. So, yeah, PCA said that, but let's not forget how it started. Someone else said something first.